21, you see 270,000 goes all the way to 2.1 million in 24. These are non-citizens that are getting Social Security numbers.
This is really the thing that is causing the Democrats to lose their mind. They're actually spending, at this point, tens of billions to attract and retain illegals in the United States.
Politicians have got to stop treating immigration as an issue to scare up votes in an election.
And the goal is to turn all the swing states blue.
The fire, we almost lost our country forever. And that's why Elon had said this election, that election, was the most important election since 1776 or 1796 when John Adams defeated that dirty Republican, you know, that remember that light bulb guy, right? Thomas Jefferson. Actually, Thomas Jefferson was Democratic Republican. I know, right? Almost as confusing as John Adams not pulling a Trump. Like, just swing that hair over. But ladies and gentlemen, boys and squirrels, they were handing out Social Security numbers with the same number, with the same benefits to anyone who came across the border. All you'd have to do is just walk over, and then they might issue you a parking citation. And all you have to do is just wait for your day in court, which it could take a couple decades. In the meantime, you get issued a Social Security number and the maximum benefits. Why wouldn't 10 to 20 million people not take this offer? Along with Medicare, Medicaid, you get everything that you have worked for as an American your whole life. They get it just by crossing the border. So the Democrats had an ingenious plan, and then they fly them, move them, bus them to all the swing states. They win forever. Actually surprised that there was only, how many assassination attempts on Trump? That was a minimum, because the amount of money, trillions of dollars, that is on the line. But guys, I don't know if you know this. Oh, can you check and see if you've been unsubscribed? Thank you very much, because when I talk about things like that, for some reason, the algorithm no like me. But like with Don, when there is money on the line, get rid of them. Like Prince Andrew, accuser, right? Says she has 4 days to live after random car accident. And maybe you've seen the photo and you probably know this one. She's in jail right now. Her husband hung himself. This girl was with, hey, what's up, Prince? But she has been accusing him for a while that, there were bad things that were done to her. Well, she just got hit by a bus. So, hey, moms and dads, when your kid's like, hey, I really want to go to this private island, say no. Come on, mom, there's really popular people like princes and kings. But as this article goes, Virginia, who claims she was forced to have, don't know that word, sorry, YouTube, with Prince Andrew by Jeffrey Epstein, says she has 4 days to live after her car was hit by a bus. Moral of the story, we got a lot of evil people out there doing a lot of evil things. The good news is we have people now in place that are trying to fix this. The 2.1 million brand new Social Security numbers issued just in the last 12 months. And all this was uncovered by accident. Let's have a listen in to the horse's mouth.
Like, just reiterating, it's not, people sometimes think that under the Biden administration that he was simply asleep at the switch. He wasn't asleep, they weren't asleep at the switch. It was a massive, large-scale program to import as many illegals as possible, ultimately to change the entire voting map of the United States and disenfranchise the American people, and make it a permanent, deep blue, one-party state from which there would be no escape.
Let me pause it right here, and I'm going to come back to give you some visual context. But here was the game plan. Get them all through this border, right here. Boom. Spread them out into the swing states. Check. That's a win, because you're going to win on all of these states with no ID, because they can do things called cheating. When in yesterday's video, I did mention about cheating and how Donald Trump wants a third term because he was ripped off by one. That was my joke. Yes, he did lose, but he lost because they cheated. Now you're like, they didn't cheat. Just look at this. Trump's going after the files in the document, and it's all coming out. The kid is currently spinning about 1,000 plates, which 985 of them are currently on fire. Looking at the Democrat look at the votes. Right here. See, look at this. That size. That's it. That's normal. That's how many people you got. How many votes you got. We got another one here. Okay. That's 2016. So the thought was you're going to get this in 2020 was Joe Biden, which that was kind of Joe Biden. But you have to be on crack or some kind of mind-altering substance to go, yeah, they actually doubled the vote. I mean, look at Trump's numbers. And I remember on election night and the stock market and all of it was just crazy. It was like Trump had it in the bag. Then all of a sudden a flood of votes came in. So that's why in 2024 they would call it too big to rig. To think about it, the only states that Harris won was no ID. I don't see how they could ever have hope after this. What is their platform? DEI? But now back to Elon and look at those numbers. Oh, and talking about numbers, it's over. Today is it. We'll never be able to get my bear market watch list for $1 ever again. There will never be a sale. The clock strikes midnight, everything's gone, even my courses. Trading course $199, any course you want, $199. Because after tomorrow, you won't ever be able to buy it again. Link in the description, find the more button, click on it, and if you can't do that, you probably shouldn't be trading. Now, on to Elon.
I hadn't seen this myself. I'm not sure I believed it. I went through it myself and mapped it. And Elon is right. This is true. The defaults in the system from Social Security to all of the benefit programs have been set to max inclusion, max pay for these people, and minimum collection. That's what's happening. We found 1.3 million of them already on Medicaid, as an example. We've gone through on every benefit program we went through, we found groups from this particular group of people, this 5.5 million people in those benefit programs. And then what was really, really disturbing us was why. We're asking ourselves why. Right. And so we actually just took a sample and looked at voter registration records. And we found people here registered to vote.
And I said, no way, what a shocker. And also, once you get your finger in my hair, my friend, it never comes out. Even though you got some style. Like a man with style, right, ladies? Oh, also, while they're talking.
Yeah. It's really wild.
Here's what the Democrats do.
Wow. So, I mean, it was inevitable that at least a few Soros operatives would be in the audience. Give my regards to George. Say hi to George from me. USA. USA.
Isn't it crazy? Just a few years ago, I'm filming videos like this. I found out there's a law, and this guy's showing everyone how to make money. It was the Venezuelan, which talked very poorly about Venezuela. Well, guess what? He got sent back. And even his own people don't like him. Quote, migrant influencer who taught illegals how to break into American homes. That is great. Deported and is not popular back home. If you don't remember him, here's another image of stacks of cash. I'm like, oh my gosh, we have to stop this. And how is Nancy Pelosi making so much money? How do we stop this and that and this and this and that? And Elon Musk now. It's like, finally. And why are people burning everything down and going after Tesla? Come on, you guys. I know the people that flip me and Kitty off in the Cybertruck, you're not all paid by Soros. This just absolutely blows my mind because I live in this. Elon Musk announces he and Doge are investigating how members of Congress, oh, let's burn the place down, how dare he, are getting obscenely wealthy. The people that are flipping me off, are you not upset that your politicians get paid, I don't know, what, 250? We're closer than, oh, it's Bravo, it's on the screen. Okay, sorry, hold on just a second. Read the screen, Bravo, just stop looking at squirrels. How they get $20 million if they're earning $200,000 a year. No one can explain that. We're going to figure that out and certainly stop it from happening. In the meantime, now everyone hates this guy. Why? Still, even yesterday, I could not explain it to Kitty. And if you want to see her, because maybe you missed yesterday's video, you can go back to it. But it's towards the end. She's in her Lamborghini. Assistants do get paid well, but I think she makes most of it on the side. Because I do know I do not pay her enough to drive a Lamborghini. So as you know or may not know, France died today. Breaking. This is exactly coming from the playbook that they used on us. Today marks the day democracy died in France. A judge ruled that Marine Le Pen is ineligible to run for president in 2027. She is a front runner. 8 MEP. Well, this is judges are now deciding elections across the EU. So I guess she's maybe going to serve 4 years in jail. This is when you're the popular candidate and try to change things. They either A, kill you, or B, jail you. Millions of French people are outraged. Well, take up your Second Amendment and solve it. That's why we have a Second Amendment. It's not about you and I. It's about us versus the government. Scrolling down because we got to see, because I know this is going to be my comment section. She was found guilty of corruption. Thank you, Robert CP. Duh. Not think Trump was, how many charges? 197 of them. Went after this guy at so many different angles. And if you run companies, if you have 100 corporations, two corporations, do not think that you can't not find something. That's what they were trying to do. And it's like, I don't know. You have 1,000 moving parts. So yes, found guilty. Like Tricky Dick and the FBI. I wonder if maybe the FBI was in on it. The most popular president ever. John F. Kennedy dies from lead poisoning in the back of a vehicle. Robert, you only need one more thing, one more letter. You need an N. Okay, because that's what you are. And you're like, CPN? No. You are an NPC. Occasionally, from time to time, I need to explain my verbiage. NPC. That's the bartender. Bartender Bailey. He just stands behind the bar for his entire life. In the computer, he has one job. He hands you a drink and says, how was your day? Bartender Bailey is not allowed to leave said bar. He stays here forever. He cannot think. He cannot do anything. What percentage of people in the United States of America? I've had to deal with them for the last 4 years. It was probably when the vid went down. This is where everyone hated me. I made a ton of money. And I'm like, what are you doing? Well, the government said, breaking news, North Korea has jailed and banned 2 political opponents within 3 weeks. Oh, wait a minute. Sorry about that. That's the EU, which they did the same thing over here. And now, maybe some NPCs are starting to wake up and go, hey, wait a minute. I've seen how this plays out. Breaking news, Italian deputy, yes, coming in. Clutch, banning Marie Le Pen is declaration of war from Brussels. So yes, once again, more war. This post says the EU don't know what's coming. And I say, you go. This post says they have no idea what's coming next. The people are rising and the EU elites can't stop. Again, if you just had a Second Amendment, because they can stop you really quick. But coming in from breaking news, meanwhile in France, police retreat hastily after being attacked by the usual mob in one of the many no-go areas across France. This actually looks like currently our malls. And for those of you that are like, wait, what are you saying about a mall? Put mall in up there. Also, don't follow that channel. I do have an X channel if you'd like to follow me. But let's see. How's it going at today's malls? Oh, that looks really good. Hey, kids, doing some robbing over there? Sweet. All right, perfect. I've seen this mall before. Just go from store to store, rob. Yep, grab what you want. There you go. Keep going, you guys. Just run. They're not going to stop you. All right, so let's see. Any more malls? Yeah, same one. Is this Minnesota? Another mall. Up, here we go. Here's the same mall. That's good. That's the food court where I guess we beat everyone up. But no, we didn't see that, YouTube moderator. We're good. The video's still good. All right. So that's currently what's happening to a mall near you. But yes, ladies and gentlemen, boys and squirrels, the world is burning down. We did this close to stopping all of this. Look at this. Imagine sending your kid gets suspended or kicks out of school or goes to jail. Your toddler, listen to this.
A toddler was suspended from a nursery after they were accused of being transphobic or homophobic. I just cannot believe this. The Department of Education data revealed the child is either 3 or 4 years old. A Department of Education spokesman said all pupils and staff should feel safe. I can't believe I'm reading this, should feel safe and protected at school and should never face violence or abuse. The Education Secretary has been clear that she expects school leaders to enforce good behaviour, and we are committed to a comprehensive programme of behaviour to support all schools.
Do you see how it always starts out this way? You always start out like, I can't believe this. This was 5 years, 7 years ago, teaching in the school system, and kids would say to me, "Hey, Mr. Bravo," well, it would be a female, but whatever. I have male, whatever. Can you point me in the direction of the restroom? Sure. You go. It's straight, and then make a left, and you'll see it on the left. Oh, you offended me. I'm like, what do you mean I offended you? I'm going to talk to the principal. Well, go ahead, talk. What? Can you just tell me how I offended you? Did I look at you wrong? I mean, my hands are in my pocket. You just told me to go straight. Like, what do you mean? Well, you got it. I'm offended. I need to go forward. So then I go back into the classroom. Like, let me ask you guys this. I'm going to say a sentence. Raise your hand if you're offended. I said that exact sentence using the word straight. 4 hands go up. But first, as the water of a said frog starts heating up and the bubbles, right? You're like, oh, this is weird. Hey, kids, you missed it by that much. They had this thing all locked down. Just turn your head a little bit. Rest of the world, may God be with you. Also, you got a couple minutes left. One that you wanted, this is your warning, because my $1 is going to be gone, my $1.99 will be gone, and with that, I love you. I will see you tomorrow.